Yo, what up everyone, it's your girl Kenzie and welcome back to this week's video. So about a month ago, 4 weeks ago, I did a story time about a guy that I dated on Twitter, and it seemed like a lot of you guys loved that so much that I wanted to tell you another horrible experience with me dating. So yeah. So this happened like a month ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. That the Twitter boyfriend happened a few months ago, so that was a little bit fresh. But I met this guy, Alexander, at work. He and I, it was really cute. He just graduated from high school, and I was a freshman slash sophomore about to leave, and I think I just put in my 2 weeks notice in earlier that week, and yeah. So I get into work and they have no place for me. They already have Alexander handling the drive-through. They already had someone in pass, someone handling fry station, up front, and grill. So the only place they had for me was handling prep, because Alexander was a newbie and still a little bit of a newbie. So he was a newbie, didn't know how to do prep, so they said, you know how to do prep, you go do it. So I went back there and I started doing some prep. I think I was working lettuces at the time, or tomatoes, when Alexander comes up and he says, hey, I just finished dishes, I've already taken care of drive, what do you need me to do? And I already looked in the prep area, so I already know what we needed, I think. So I told him, just do 1 pan of onions, because we don't usually need it that much. So he says half or whole. I'm like, whole. They might say half, but I'm going to do whole, so I need you to do whole. So while he does it, and then later on I help him because he's a newbie and he's been working 14 hours that day. So I pour my heart out to him. Like, I told him basically almost my whole entire life, why my hands shake, why I get headaches and lightheadedness. It's because I do not eat or drink. It's because of my depression that I had junior year. I just poured it out all onto him on the first day we met. Good way to start a friendship. But he was not afraid of me, and I was surprised in that. So I had a crush on him, and he had a crush on me, but I didn't know it at the time. Don't you just hate that? When you have a crush on someone and you like them so much, you want them to like you back, and you want to tell them you like them, but you just don't know whether they like you like that. So, but I told my best friend Shannon about it. She's like, oh girl, you had it bad. And I was having a little rough time with someone that I'm not going to do a story time on because that's so complicated and confusing. I'm not loyal to that one. So I came into work one night. Alexander was there. I went to go get my check and I talked to Alexander, and I even asked him to help me with some music videos that I wanted, like music song cover videos I want to do for you guys. And he said sure. I gave him a list, and I was gonna give him a list. I was like, hey, can I have your number, you know, so that we can do a video together. So I got his number. He said he was gonna text me after work. He didn't text me until the next day because he worked so late that night, and I totally understood. So he messaged me in the afternoon. I gave him the list. We started talking. He checked out my channel and he said they're good, I like them. And then he said the reason why I think I like them is because I like you. So that was my clue. And he was afraid to ask me out on a date because I'm leaving in like 2.5 weeks. But I was like, hey, let's spend as much time as we can. Well, and I told him, I'm going to be an hour and a half away. I'm going to visit every chance I get. So it's not like I'm traveling a half across the world. So I said, okay, let's do it. So we went to Panera. We told a little bit more about each other. I didn't tell him all the bad stuff. I told him a little bit of the good stuff because I told him all the bad stuff the first day. And then I took him home. Well, no, he took me home because he was driving me. And I taught him Rubik's Cube for Christmas time so he can meet my grandparents. I'm so good at relationships, people. But anyways, we hung out. After he left, what did we do next? So the next time I asked him, I was like, hey, why don't we go see the movie Nerve? Because it just came out like the week. It was a week after the movie came out, and I was like, hey, let's go see Nerve and have like a dinner and a movie. So he said, yeah, sure, let's do it right after I get off work. So we did, and I dressed almost like I am now, but we went to Olive Garden, and it's that complicated thing whether you want to be in a dress or in jeans. So I kind of dressed myself, but I kind of wore jeans with my pink top, with my hair in a half ponytail, with a bow, with makeup. No, I don't think I wore makeup at the time. I didn't. And with, I think it was my Chacos. I kind of dressed a little bit down, but I figured I didn't know what to do. It was like my first official date because every single guy I've dated had been long distance, so I didn't know how to dress because going to Olive Garden, which is nice, and then later on we're going to see a movie, so how in the world am I supposed to dress? So we go, I take him this time because I just got my car back. I have not driven it in about a week. I missed it so much. I wanted my car, so I drove him. So we went to Olive Garden. It was a blast. I didn't eat much, but we had a lot of food that fit into one box. So we took that, and then we went to Destin Commons to go see Nerve. And I swear, it was the most coolest movie ever. The way we sat was that we lifted the cup holder up because we didn't have time to buy popcorn and drinks, and plus we just finished eating. So he was sitting, I leaned over, he wrapped his arms around me, and I just had my legs up like this, and I was like that throughout the whole entire movie, and I dug my nails into his arms and hands, and he covered my face at bad parts. So he has marks probably still into his fingers to this very day because of me. After the movie was over with, we discussed it and went for a little walk on the beach, and I have to say it was really nice. And I didn't mention this, but after we finished Rummikub on our first date, we were by his car, and you know, we did some hugging and some kissing on the cheek, but I'm a girl that is ready for lips because I've had kisses on the lips before. Don't tell my mother. Sorry, Mom. So I kissed him right in front of the car, and he was like, wow, he was not expecting that. But it was like a quick peck, nothing more, nothing less, until the second date, and then we made out a little bit and did some tongue. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. But the second date went pretty well. I don't remember what we did after that, but we were planning to go see the new Jason Bourne movie before I left. That was my plan. I was planning on sitting at the 29th. I think it was. Was it the 29th? Where did I place my phone? Yeah, I was planning on seeing the 29th. It was, so. But he had seen the first movie, and I had all the movies except for The Bourne Legacy, and I got it when I was on a date with him. So, score that. So for the next few days and the next week, we watched all the Bourne movies. We watched 2 in one day. We watched The Bourne Identity and The Bourne Supremacy. No, we watched 3 movies. We watched all 3 movies right after we got off of work. We watched The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, and The Bourne Ultimatum. And then we watched The Bourne Legacy the next day, but it was not that exciting. I can tell you that. And this is like all Monday and Tuesday combined. So like 25th and the 26th. Or was it the 20th? Yeah, it was the 25th and 26th. Scratch that. I think it was the 1st and 2nd, wasn't it? And then my battery died. So it's been a couple of hours, but let's keep going. So me and Alexander, we dated the 26th, and we saw all 3 of the Bourne movies the week after that, which was, that's not it, which was the 1st and 2nd. It was the 1st and 2nd of August that we saw the movies at my house. And after we watched The Bourne Legacy, he spent time with my mom and she got to know him a bit better. And then Thursday the 4th, he had some money left over from the last week with his grandparents, and he took me to Fat Daddy's, which is like a arcade like Chuck E. Cheese. So we went there and we had some fun. It wasn't that exciting as I remember when I first went there a few years ago, but we still had some fun and arguments, playful arguments. And then what did we do after that? Then we went to, I don't think we ever ate, but we went to Sandestin outlet to check out some sunglasses. And after we checked out some sunglasses, we went back to Destin Commons to check out more sunglasses. And we talked and played some Pokemon Go. And we started to figure out we were hungry, so we went to Smash Burger, which is a really great place, but since my depression, since junior year, I have not been eating that well, except now I'm eating like a ton of crap food, and that's not good, but I barely ate when I was with him, so he was used to me not eating. So we ate there, we talked some more. I was into feeling well, I had a stomach ache, so I just needed to get away. So I told him, hey, let's go back to your car and just go to a place that's really quiet and just hang out for a bit until my stomach calms down. So this is a little bit funny. So we get into his car, we were in the parking garage, but we went all the way up to the top. And I was in the back seat, he was in the back seat. We weren't doing anything, but we were just sitting there. I just wanted a quiet place to think and get my stomach to calm down. And there was a security guard, or at least we think, and he was watching me and Alexander, and we were just like, whoa. It was not funny, so he got scared, so we decided let's go to the beach instead. So we went back to the beach again and just took a little walk, and it was really fun. We enjoyed the walk, but when we got back, he left his light on the car, so his battery died. So I start to panic as my time is 11:45, my curfew is, and I'm freaking out, but luckily I have a brother who lives in Destin who helped us, but he and I argued and we decided that we were not meant for each other. So we decided we weren't right for each other. We had different types of music. I wouldn't watch his videos. It was like very bad things, and so we just like talked as we were waiting for my brother. My stomach still kept hurting, but you know, on the ride home I was like, hey, let's just start fresh. And he's like, no. I'm like, listen, let's start fresh as friends and get to know each other a bit better, because you already know the bad things about me and a little bit of the good. So I was like, how about you learn the good things about me, you ask me some questions, I'm open book. And he's like, okay. So we went to the gas station, he asked me more questions, and so I took something to help my stomach, and then we went to our work, got some stuff there, you know, just grabbed a drink and some food for his brother, and then we went back to my house. And we just sat in his car and just talked for probably like 10 to 20 minutes. It was pretty long when I was in his car, and my mom kept texting me, Boyd, on my phone, like, what are you doing? What are you still doing at Publix? La-di-da. I was like, what are you doing there? You know, being with the guy after midnight is not that great. And I mean, we weren't doing anything. We were just in his car, just talking. So then after that happened, we decided to go still see the new Jason Bourne movie, and we were going to see it that Saturday, but it was very crowded. I wasn't feeling well, and I was like, hey, how about we go see it on Monday after getting my hair dyed? And he's like, yeah, okay. So after all that, So we went to see the movie. It was very confusing, but we saw the movie. It was a great movie, very long, but it was a good movie, pretty long. And afterwards, he said, "We can't do this. I can't be your friend. It's very complicated, very awkward." And I would have to say, with one of my friends who has a baby, yes, I can understand that, but all the rest of the guys that I've long distance dated with, I don't think would be that awkward. But he just couldn't see it the way most people see it, so he's like, "We can't do this." It just brought me more into tears. And I did the most stupidest thing. I just crowded over him and I just like yelled. I didn't yell, I softly talked to him while I was bawling. I was like, shoot, crying, not helping. And so right before I left, I kissed him and just ran off. But I went to the beach, just was there for like 5 minutes just to think. And luckily he wasn't my ride, so I went to the beach for 5 minutes and then I went back home. Didn't tell my mom anything because I just wanted the night to be over with. So, but I went to college, texted him saying bye. I'll see him. I thought it was going to be a month, but I felt like coming home the week I went to college. So I came home. I was at the first week of college and it was not that well. Seriously, I went to go get my last paycheck. I swear, I felt like I was going to throw up. My hands were shaking uncontrollably. I was like looking at one of my friends and I was just like, "I can't be here. I'm really nervous." And he's like, "Why?" And I told him and he's like, "Oh." But the next time I was there, it was like a couple weeks ago. I gave him back something that he gave me that I didn't want because I never grew an attachment to it. So I was just like, "Here, take this as a white flag." And I wrote him a note. And I forgot that the managers at our work are very nosy, so they read it, made him very uncomfortable, and he texted me yelling at me. So it's been very a complicated relationship since we only dated for a week and a half. And I swear, guys, there's nothing wrong with him. He is a sweet guy. I love him as a friend, and I poured my heart out, like I said, which was the wrong thing, and I kept saying "I love you," and I would change it to "like" because we didn't know whether we loved each other like that. But I did love him as a friend, and I liked like him. Do I still have those feelings now? Maybe. It just depends how when I see him, but I don't feel like I have any feelings for him. He doesn't make me feel like crap every time I think about him anymore, but there's something about him that's totally different that makes me love him as a friend. Let's just hope the next time I see him it won't be that awkward. If you like this video, please give it a very big thumbs up and comment down below if you ever had this experience before, because I know there's a lot of people who have dated for a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So, you're a player. I'm a player too, but I'm not that bad of a player. All my social media will be linked in the description below. You know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Snap me, I snap you back. I've been on my Snapchat game a lot this week. And of course, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below because I'm making new videos every single Friday and I'd love for you to be part of my pack. Anyways, I love you so much and I'll see you next week. Bye!